My name's Amy Jane, and this is Drawing 101. Now, before we get started, the most important part of my art lessons will be that you are doing and not just watching. These are doing videos, so if you plan on just sitting there watching, turn it off. But hit pause right now, go grab your pencil and a piece of paper. I know you got it. This is Drawing 101. All you need is a pencil and a piece of paper. Go, go, go. You got this. Hit pause. Did you get it? Did you get it yet? Have you gotten it? I'll keep waiting. Go, Kara. I know you got it. So for me, I'm going to imagine all of you out there doing and creating. I have to do that, otherwise I'm just sitting here talking to this camera. There's one more thing you need to go and grab. Go outside and grab a stick with a leaf attached. If you don't have a stick available outside in your yard or in the neighborhood or something, grab any kind of plant that you can. It could be like even a bushel of grass, but try to get something that has multiple things connected. If you live in the heart of New York City or there's absolutely no trees around, then I'm actually very sad for you. But we can find something. We can think of something. What does everybody have in their house? A shoe. That's it. If you then grab a shoe. And this is just to get started. Now use that pause button and grab yourself something to draw. Now that you've got your items, we're just going to set them up on the table right in front of you so you can see them. Time to grab that pencil and let's go. Before we get started, we're going to loosen our hand up. We're going to get into this. We're going to feel what it feels like to have this graphite lead scraping against this paper. But we're going to do it in a very loose way. Okay? We're going to come in here, just a circular, don't touch the paper yet. Just circle your hand right above the paper. Now let's get our pencil in. We're just going to spiral, making it lighter and then darker. See how the circle comes out when we do that? We're trying to just be loose, make a circle. It's going to be kind of slanted because of the shape of my hand. But this is just a warm-up, okay? Look, I'm trying to make them all the same size, but it doesn't really matter. And see, look what happens when I get to the edge of the paper, my hand kind of fell off. But that's okay. It's much nicer if you have a smooth surface. But this is just a warm up. Maybe I try to make them the other way. I kind of have to hold my pencil a little different. But I just want you to have fun with this. I just want you to, you can even just, feel what it feels. Make them lighter, make them darker. I'm going to try to make them even as I can. The one thing we don't want to do is we don't want to come in here and try to make, that looks like a bird, like, that's not what we want. We want it loose. We want to try to just give some cohesion to it. Look how that, just now I kept my hand above. See, I've got it hovering above. And that makes it a little harder to control. I'll bet that makes it more difficult to make the circles even, right? Oh yeah, now I'm really having to struggle. And at first your stuff might not look that good, but the more you do it, you're gonna be able to focus in and the idea is not to just make these little lines. No, this is just a frog or something. No. The idea is this is what I want you to accomplish, right? Just even if they're bigger, even if they're smaller, this is what we want. This is an exercise to get warmed up. Now that we feel very warm and free, now we want to start thinking about how we see and how we look. So we're going into the contour. Remember, contour is the line around the outline of the object you're looking at. There's lines within and there's outer lines as well. So we're just looking at some contour lines. We're not thinking about the roundness of the shape. We just want to take our eye and follow the edge. Using a stick is nice because it's a stick. So when I look at the stick, I'm going to just follow the line of the stick. I'm not going to think about the leaves right now. That's a little more advanced. So think about just the stick. And I might think about one of those leaves. But here we go. We're just thinking about our stick and trying to follow. There's a little bump in the stick. There's a lot of bumps there. The stick splits here and it goes off this way, and there's a little intersection where it turns and kind of goes up. And then the end of the stick is kind of just jaggedy. And then the bottom side of the stick, it's actually much smoother. When it gets to here, it also has some that bark and that craggy bark. This part of the stick kind of really goes smooth. Now, another beautiful idea is to think about the strength of the line. Does it require at that position a little darker line, or do you think it should be lighter in order to make it come alive, just as an outline? It's not going to look super realistic, but we're just thinking about, and I saw a little bump in the stick right there, so I'm going to go erase it. And my eraser doesn't work that good. There's a secret to this. Go down to the carpet and give it a little scrub on the carpet. I want to introduce you to a tool. It's a good tool. I have shaped my tool into a little dude, but this tool is a kneaded eraser. You probably won't have this just laying around, so you'll have to pick this up if you can. If not, it's okay. Use the erasers that you have, but the kneaded eraser is so nice because you can really squeeze it and it erases really nicely. So once you start erasing with, you can make big erasing flat parts like that. And then once it's all black, you just have to squeeze, you just knead it. Or you can make a tiny little point, and then you can get right in there and erase just what you want to erase. It erases a lot better than the end of this. Don't worry about it if your eraser's not that good. It doesn't really matter in the end. You're still just exercising your eye, looking at the line. Not anything in the middle, just the line. And I see the line go up here. I see the line going down and around. This stick is really cool. And then up here we have a bunch of leaves, and I'm not going to worry about them right now. My stick comes down to the end, and there. I got to think about the top of this branch, this tiny twig. It's very straight. There's a little bump there. And there's a big bump here, and when it turns again with another bump, and it kind of really just gets all. And I'm not going to worry about these leaves. I just want to do the stick. This one is really cool because it's going to turn, it's going to come up. Each time there's a little turn in the stick, there's a bump there. And that's just natural. So we're thinking about the contour. Some of my contour is darker. The contour, you could think about where the light is hitting it, but only in a line kind of a way. You could think about if the light was hitting it a little bit, or if there's colorations on the stick, a little bit lighter. So I made my line a little bit lighter there. And I'm not going to worry about the leaves. Now, actually, I do want to worry about one of these leaves. Just one. And I'm going to choose this leaf. And I'm going to do the same idea. We're talking contour, contour, contour. Because under here, under that leaf, there's a dark shadow. So I'm going to actually make that line stronger. And then coming around, it comes to like a point there. But the top bit is a little lighter green, so I'm going to make it a little lighter. And it comes right down to its stem. You know, and there's all kinds of lines and stuff within the leaf, which we can do. You can, if you see something in there, you really want to give this little accent line. You know, there's some other things going through the leaf. You want to do that, that's great. But right now, all I'm thinking about is the outline of everything. The same principle applies to our shoe. For those of you that just have a shoe, we're now going to talk about doing the shoe in the same exact way with just a contour. But the shoe's a little bit harder, and there's a reason for that. When something comes from nature, it has an organic feeling. It's a whole different kind of an object because it was grown and it's a little bit more sporadic and organic and natural. But a shoe was made in a factory by a machine. It was made to go on a foot and to be comfortable and have certain aspects that gives your foot a certain comfort. But because this was made by man, this has a little bit more symmetry. It's more difficult to draw. But this is also a good exercise to try. Just know that it's going to be harder than your stick, but you're still going to concentrate on just the contour outlines. What we're going to do too is we're going to focus on the contour outlines of what we're seeing around the shoe. But in some cases, we're going to think about like things within the shoe, the laces, so that we can get the structure. So we put our object there. Let's get started. So the first thing I notice is there's this opening of where the foot goes. Then there's this place down here where the heel goes. And then there's this little going on down below. The bottom part, the sole of the shoe, and the toe, and how it comes up where the laces go. And I'm adjusting, and I'm going to use this kneaded eraser if I need to, but I haven't made any real dark lines or anything. Just kind of thinking about what I'm seeing. Now what I want to do is start to think about the outside of the shoe. I see the sole, how it comes right there, and it's kind of dark under there because the light doesn't hit underneath it. And I'm just kind of make it darker down there. Then when I get to this point, then it gets exciting and interesting because then it comes up and around. There's this little place, you know, and it's going to really cause me to concentrate. My shoe has a little tab back here, and I'm looking at the tab. Kind of follows this line of the shoe. It's not easy. Then you have the back part of the shoe where the foot goes. It comes up and around. I'm just trying to compare my shape because this gets a little flatter right here. And then there's a little part that comes up where the laces go. And the part that comes down. These things go beyond contour drawing. So you're going to start with the stick. Now that you've had some experience thinking about the contour outline, I've got a project for you. You need to go and find any object around your house. Whatever it is you got laying around. Could be a ball of yarn or a bowls, dishes, pair of scissors, whatever you want. A shoe, or you could even do like a pillow. It's big, but you could totally do a pillow. What can we think of? Anything. Just grab something. An apple, a candle, any kind of food. You can choose whatever you want. Grab it, stick it on your table, think about the contour and draw it. See if you can do at least 5 things. And to conclude my lesson, I want to talk about one of the most wonderful contour line artists, Dr. Seuss himself. Dr. Seuss's line work is beautiful. Take a look. In every single one of his drawings, there's variation in the line, which makes his characters just pop and come to life. The line is thick, and some of it's smooth, and some of it's wrinkly. Now look down at the elephants. It's a perfect example of a variation in a contour line, and even though he's creating just some characters, this is still beautiful line work. When you're thinking about the items that you want to choose to draw, think about what interests you. Think about what you want to say and the reason why. Why did you choose that? What do you think you could get from drawing it? Think about these reasons because they're very important. It's the most important thing. Dr. Seuss drew the things he drew for a very good reason. He was writing kids' books and teaching us all really valuable lessons. Keep drawing. Don't ever stop. You must keep drawing. The bang-ups and hang-ups can happen to you. And I really need you to post all your pictures and your comments. I want to see these drawings. You know what? I'm going to grade you. I'm going to give you a grade. Just kidding. I want you to have fun. You'll come down from the lurch with an unpleasant bump, and the chances are then you'll be in a slump. Sometimes we get in drawing slumps because we think it doesn't look right. Keep drawing. Unslumping yourself is not easily done. If you're like me, you just have to make something with your hands. And remember, you're not just watching this, you're doing it. Until the next lesson, have fun drawing.